Ooh.
So, lads, court is definitely out of session, and the plebs have taken it over. There have been ruptions, rows, arguments, tissies, battle cries at the fact that the prosecutors may have been lying all this time. Like,
I'm surprised there hasn't been riots, to be fair.
there could be riots. I mean, we're not seeing them. In fairness, like we're focusing on the job at hand here, but there's nothing to say that like shit has picking off like outside of Phoenix's window here or something. You know.
Is his office on South William Street?
Do you know what? I'll have to check. Considering this is meant to be like a Japanese like Los Angeles, probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
I'm sure there is an equivalent. I think every city has a South William of some kind. So yeah, we heard a little bit about this beforehand during the trial. Basically,
yeah, Joe Darke.
Yes, so the Joe Darke killings is in actuality the SL9 case that people have been kind of mumbling about in behind closed doors. And it turns out like these two sisters have quite a lot to do with that case.
Oh, that's a very menacing looking David Bowie. I mean, Joe Darke.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's definitely he's definitely a tribute act of somebody, and I can't place him. It's like a cross between like Boy George and fucking Tears for Fears, you know, that kind of way.
Oh. Or if Nice and Hot was in an electro 80s band.
Oh, that's a mental image I'm gonna have trouble getting out of my head. Although in fairness, we did go through Ripper, so you know it was more or less the same thing. But yes, and again, as we found out in the trial, Captain Officer Yeehaw, as we've rechristened him, did have a brother.
Yes.
Who was a prosecutor, indeed. And yeah,
Officer Yahi.
Officer Hot Diggity, call him that. Prosecutor Hot Diggity. No, actually, no, I've got one. We got Officer Yeehaw and we've got Prosecutor Hootenanny.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, change approved. And yeah, it turns out he was the
blonde Jules Holland.
Oh, maybe. Like he's meant to have white hair, so that's possible. Maybe. But there he is there now, so that's Neil
Anyway, we're getting sidetracked from this murder case, which is obviously quite sad for these characters.
I would hope so. I mean, like, it's 2 years ago. They should have gone over, to be honest. But
holy shit, she was almost killed by Joe Darke.
Well, it does seem that she was the intended target, or at least that's what she's kind of alluding to here in this conversation. So this is what she saw at the time.
Lightning struck.
Yes.
Convenient.
Quite indeed. Well, again, just the horrible weather in this universe. It just ruins everything, really. It's hard to get. It's so hard to get witness statements when the thunderstorms are out. You know. So as you can guess, Emma's scarred for life.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
A blonde Jules Holland. That would scare you.
Just Jules Holland generally. He's like, oh, what are you doing here? I'm here to talk jazz to you. No, please don't. I really am not. I'm not. No, get out of my house. So yeah, that's the image she saw was Neil Marshall's final moments apparently. Then she blacked out.
Like, I mean, that seems legit. Oh,
look at this.
Does she have a heart?
I mean, one would assume that like biologically she has to have one, but it doesn't necessarily have to, you know, do everything a heart does, you know.
Yeah.
Pump blood, yes.
Maybe it hasn't been located yet.
Yes,
you know,
maybe.
Because the heart is in a different location for every human.
Yeah, exactly. That is true, actually. Like my one's in the fucking, mine's in my stomach, which is ridiculous. Like, it's a stupid place.
Yeah. I'd say it's like in her baby toe, like the last place you check.
The small place, the smallest toe, yeah.
Yeah.
And she'd have those kind of like really dainty fucking like goblin feet. So like the tiniest fucking possible space.
Or like the space in between the toe. Even
No, we don't talk
smaller,
about that. We don't talk about those spaces. Like they're like no, we don't go there.
Oh, we're gonna get the foot festivals now on like
This
the
is
channel.
this is why I didn't want this conversation, because fuck, like they're just gonna be talking about lint for the next 5 minutes.
Okay, so she doesn't remember the actual moment, which is always a red flag in Ace Attorney.
It is, but bear in mind this is a teenage girl we're talking about, and I'm
They're
not gonna
all
say
idiots.
no, yeah, that is one point of it, but like, considering like she's kind of like wandered around the crime scenes with us, she doesn't seem to have that much expertise to fake murders and testimony here.
True.
So I think we can chalk her off as a suspect here. But as you can see there, Lana had gimmied up the evidence, and Edward was given it.
Yeah.
So you'll remember throughout the game, Edwards had this kind of reputation of using fake evidence and testimonies and stuff like this. It would appear this case was the start of those rumors 2 years ago.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, and granted, of course, he was trained by Von Karma, so that like stink was never going to clear. But yeah, that's kind of what we're leaning towards here. So pretty much everyone involved in this like Bruce Goodman murder is also involved in SL9 in some way, you know.
Yeah.
So it just appears to not just, it just won't shake for these people. Now, what about Phoenix here? He's a newcomer to this.
That is a very good point.
It is. It shouldn't be that. And again, former prosecutor as well.
Are they all in this together? High School Musical style?
I mean, I don't recall the High School Musical where everyone gets stabbed to death. Although I imagine a lot of people imagine
it's my favorite one. I think it's number 5. No, sorry, it's number 6.
It's 6. Okay, right. I think I missed that one. Sorry. It's on Disney Plus, yeah?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Makes sense. So, Phoenix has noticed something.
That seems smart.
Yeah. The layout of the place doesn't seem a bit flawed. And there's a contradiction.
Oh my god!
Now that changes things quite a bit there, because that means then, like, because we know that Gant was in the police department as well, right?
Yeah.
So that means that, like, from this case, Gant, who was a detective as well, if I'm not mistaken, and Lana, both then became chief of police and chief prosecutor from this trial.
This is starting to smell like the FAI right here.
Isn't it? Yeah. I like that we're using that as a verb. That really that speaks volumes about how serious this is. No, but yeah, hack a fucking Delaney off this, lads. Honestly.
Okay,
wait till you find out now that
Gant
Gant had a fucking James Bond themed birthday party for his 60th.
And invited all his enemies just to watch him like celebrate.
Fucking Von Karma there, like stewing over a brandy in the corner, going, "I fucking hate everyone in this room." Snapping fingers and backhanding every waitress he can find. So again, here's Lana Skye, the big sister that is almost certainly not a robot. He has emotions, she just can't show them. It's kind of gas, like, because like she's quite baby faced, but she's also trying to look serious, you know, kind of way, where like someone's trying to like in a comparison in wrestling, is like someone like that is quite literally like looks really nice, but is trying to play like a bad guy. And I was just like,
right, yeah,
it's not working. you're too pleasant looking to be the bad guy. No one's gonna take you seriously. Oh, hello. Look at this.
Oh, there you go.
There's the dream team.
The gruesome twosome.
Indeed. Looking like the TV promo for their own detective show.
Oh, what would the name of that be?
Sky's the limit.
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
Come on, man. Come on. This is basic stuff, Burke. Come on. Basic stuff.
Brilliant.
Coming soon to ABC.
Followed by season 27 of Rizzoli and Isles.
Is that still on?
I don't know.
How many cases could they possibly solve without realizing, oh, they just don't like each other? This passive-aggressive woman teams up with this passive-aggressive woman, and they both don't like each other. Yes, that sounds like something we can get 250 episodes out of.
I only ever see it like as, oh, Rizzoli and Isles is on. I've never like actually watched it.
It's like, and you couldn't get the rights to Columbo, no, Columbo too expensive. Yeah. I heard Peter Falk can has quite a fee on them. All right, yeah.
Okay,
yes,
so she's throwing Officer Marshall, throwing him under the bus a bit.
But I mean, they all worked on the same case. Like, again, if we're going by the pictures we saw before, if they were all working on the Joe Darke killings, you had Officer Starr, Officer Marshall, Officer Goodman, Officer Skye, and Officer Gant. You know, and then working with the prosecutor, Hootenanny. So, like, they were quite a comprehensive team, and they seemed to get the guy, but whether they got there through correct means is what's up for debate here, you know. This is also a good point. Like we're now so intrigued by the gossip around SL9, we're completely forgetting about the fact she's probably stabbed Bruce Goodman, and we're not really doing anything about that yet. Like, we're all literally avoiding the elephant in the room.
I'd totally forgotten about that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like there's two elephants in the room, and we've just decided to ignore one of them.
Okay.
Right. So this is the actual investigation of Joe Darke. They had the same office, which means that Neil Marshall was killed in their shared office.
Oh.
And somehow,
right.
The most prominent serial killer we've had in this series just happened to find themselves in the chief detective's office. I would say for a serial killer, he's well turned out. Like, he's got a good tailor. I'll give him credit on that.
It's very convenient of him to stand and pose with the knife like that, though.
Yeah, that was his
murder people.
He got convinced to, like, can you pose with this knife? Why? Oh, no reason. We're just checking something. Okay. Pose slightly up. Stare at the camera. Yeah, that's him. Guilty. We got him, folks.
I heard he has a tattoo of Die, Emma, Die on his chest.
No. It's the Emma, the. You know, he really likes Emma Skye. It's like, oh, yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. All right.
No one who speaks German could be evil.
True. I mean, ask Manfred von Karma. Like, he's heavily implied from Germany. Ooh, that's a...
Okay.
So it seems that prosecutor Neil Marshall was going for the pinfall when he was stabbed in the back, which is a shame because that means no one was able to count the fall. This is why we need Foxy at these crime scenes, you know, because that's a title change and no one fucking noticed. You know, it's ridiculous.
So it'd be very weird to have a knife stuck in your back when you are on top of the person with the knife.
Exactly. That is as Lana is describing it, as it were. But it would seem that's like somehow that if their two of them were grappling, then Darke like gets the fucking stabs Marshall, but then Marshall just puts all his weight behind him and slams him down and concusses Darke, so he's knocked out.
Yeah.
It's unlikely, but I guess like if you're
it is possible,
yeah. Like Darke looks like a bit of he doesn't look like a powerhouse of sorts, kind of way. He just like he's good at stabbing people, not much else.
He, again, to make a Simpsons reference, he's the guy who stands watching the fight. It's like, and everyone's going like, he's got to do something cool.
Oh, Marge, little
and
guy
then as soon as Emma passes out, then he does do something cool and she misses it.
And then like once Lana walks in, he just goes, forgiveness, and then just collapses.
Yes.
Yeah, it's almost as if like he's not happy that his brother's like death hasn't been solved. I of course don't have a brother, so I wouldn't know what that's like.
Okay. Like, I feel like that's just not fair.
Yeah. Ah, so it's now the chief's office. So that's somewhere we need to go now to have a look at the crime scene, if we can get in there. Now that's a thread we need to pull on now.
Will we be allowed access? And then also, will the access allow us to find out? Like, surely the chief detective would be good at hiding evidence after years.
I think his strategy of asking people if they want to have a swim with him tends to put people off. Like I'm not saying he's dodgy, but I'm not going to trust anyone who wears an orange leather suit to work. All right, that's a red flag, for me.
Yeah.
I can see they replaced Gant with a very fitting chief detective. Like he really is on the ball. Really. What have they become? Oh hey! Look who it is.
Hey, it's himself.
It is. He's on his last rodeo, it seems. I don't know why, but every time his music plays, I have to do this kind of like horse, like bridal motion. Like, it works perfectly with the rhythm of the song.
Okay, you do you.
This game has conditioned me, Burpa.
Oh God, what's Billy? Just fuck's sake.
I like to think it's his tin flask. Just heading over to the prosecutors because I'm gonna get the fucking shit kicked out of me by 10 people in suits.
Of course, cat.
But bear in mind, like we don't have any business there. Like that case is a red herring. Like cowboy by name, cowboy by nature. Like he is like doing the honorable thing and turning himself in to end his own personal movie.
Okay.
I mean, where would you like to start? Right, murder weapon, that's one thing.